I'm Jasper Edwards, and today I'm joined by Dr. Rob Whittenmeyer, Senior Lecturer and Researcher at the School of Physics at University of New South Wales. Rob, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm obviously an American from the accent. I came here 8 years ago for a postdoc, finished my PhD at Texas, and been here ever since. What else? I enjoy playing soccer and lifting weights and running around with my friends, enjoying the sunshine. Yeah, what else do you want to know?
What brought you to Australia? I mean, that's a pretty big move, I guess.
The job, right? You follow the feedback. So
yeah,
the job is here, and the research group here is actually really good at planets, planet discovery. So when I was looking for a job, this opening just came up, and it was like the perfect opening at the perfect time, right when I was finishing my PhD. So I jumped on that. It was my first choice. When they made the offer, I pulled everything else out and said, I'm going to Australia.
All right, excellent, excellent. So as a child, I always loved the scientific method and thinking things through that way, and lots of crazy experiments I could do. My parents weren't terribly happy about it because I usually did dangerous and destructive stuff. But what drew you to science?
Watching Star Trek, actually. So, for those of you, it's before your time, I suppose, but Star Trek was a TV show about people in a spaceship zooming through space, you know, Captain Kirk, Captain Picard, this sort of thing. So, yeah, mind the generation gap. So, Star Trek, right. See that every week with my dad, and you see these guys watching them go into different planets every time and exploring new things.
So was that as like a really little kid? And
yeah, when I was 5.
Okay, but that passion sort of held on.
Yeah, yeah. And my grandfather gave me a telescope, and here we are.
So did you always have your sights set on working in your position right now, or and how did you get here?
It was a long and winding road. Don't let anybody fool you into thinking that it always has to be, go to college, get your degree, get your job, get married, buy a house, have kids, bickety bam. No, that's not how life works. It's not that simple. Don't let anybody fool you to think that, because it was not that straightforward. So, yeah, I like astronomy. I was good at it. I also liked biology, and I worked in an outdoor school for a while, teaching kids in the mountains. 4 cross-country trips in America, just finding myself, right? Just trying different stuff in my 20s. So it was never a straight road. It was very much a winding road.
So I understand you're heavily involved with some of the research projects such as the Pan-Pacific Planet Search and the Miniature Radio Velocity Array Project.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for and why?
Planets. Well, okay. Why do we look for planets, right? It's not just stamp collecting. It's we're looking for planets around stars that are a bit more massive than the sun. We're trying to figure out what our planetary system's like around different kinds of stars. Everyone and their mother is looking at stars like the sun. But we're looking at different kinds of stars because you want to know how planets form around all kinds of stars. And to do that, you got to go off and look for the planets. That's actually what I'm doing today. This one just fiddling with running through all my data after 7 years, actually looking at my data and figuring out, okay, what's a planet, what's not.
So obviously that involves a lot of collaboration between universities in China and the US. So communication is obviously a big skill and a part of what you're doing. What other skills do you use every day in your work?
The 2 most valuable things are programming a computer and being a good writer. And a lot of people don't think about the second one, right? Because a lot of scientists either are crap writers or give crap talks. The trouble is that so much of what we do is communication. I'd say at least 50% of what we do is that. And you're judged based on that. You go to a conference, you see someone give a good talk, you remember, okay, oh, I remember this person, he gave a good talk. And then years later, months later, I'm writing a paper and I think, what do I know about, who do I know who does this? Oh yeah, I remember, her talk was outstanding, let me go cite her papers. And that's how it works. And so communication is really important. Most of my time is spent writing. In a year, a lot of my time is spent asking people for things. You spend 3 months asking people for money. January through March, you're writing proposals asking people for money. April and May, you're reading other people's proposals that they wrote in January and February. And I have to assess things like this. So critical reading is a thing. Critical writing is a thing. Writing papers, obviously, that's our prime product. So writing is a huge piece of it. The other part is, obviously, analysis, right? You know, I look at this and I have to make a judgment. Is this a planet or not? And decide what to do with it. Do I want it to go off and try to get more data, or do I just give up? Same things like that. You know. Programming computers. You got to do that, right? We've got programs running here, searching through data to try to figure out what the fits the planets are. So I guess those are the skills involved.
Busy work, sounds excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So you're also part of the Alpha Centauri project, looking for planets similar to Earth and a habitable zone around Alpha Centauri. What is your opinion on extraterrestrial life?
I think we're going to find a lot of bacteria, but we're not going to find much more than that. And the reason is that the universe is a dangerous place. Planets are everywhere, and small planets are everywhere. Planets like the Earth are not. One of the big things in my research is looking for what they call solar system analogs. So planetary systems like our own, where you've got things, you know, small planets in the interior, and then larger planets outside, right? So we've got Earth here, and we've got Jupiter out there. It turns out that's really uncommon. And we don't know the reason for that yet. So that's one of the main drivers of our research here.
Okay. So I understand you've just come from a hard workout at the gym. So what does an average workday look like for you? Is there a lot of number crunching, or is there some active physical components as well?
A typical day is I roll in maybe 9-ish and do the usual thing, answer all the emails that came in overnight, because astronomy never sleeps, right? All the people who are in America, they're up till all hours writing emails, and you've got to deal with them. There's papers to deal with. There's obviously lecturing and that sort of stuff to sort out during term. But it's like, what's a typical day? Today, came in, I've been working on this data, then I had lunch, went to the gym, doing this interview. After this, we're going to have a meeting with, we've got a visiting scholar here from America. He's out there, and we're going to just talk about planets and basically decide on some planet candidates that we've got, whether they're for real or not.
Yeah, sounds fun, sounds fun. So what's your absolute favorite part of your job?
Travel, easily. There's a lot of travel in astronomy, and there's a lot of freedom, too, in the academic life. Except when I'm on teaching lockdown and I have to be here. The rest of the term, the rest of the year, I can go wherever I want. If I want to go to a conference, if I have money, modulo the money, but I love that part where I can just travel the world to conferences and, oh, by the way, on the way, visit family and visit friends and see interesting places. I love that.
Yeah, so finally, do you have any words of advice or encouragement for aspiring physicists or astronomers out there?
Well, you do it because you like it, right? You don't do it because there's money in it. Okay. I've got a lot of friends with a lot of boring jobs, right? They're corporate drones. You know, they clock in, they clock out, they get their 2 weeks holiday. Here, if I don't want to roll in until 10 o'clock, no one cares. You know, if I want to bugger off to the States and go camping, it's fine. 2 weeks, I'm out of here, I'm going. So, you know, the freedom is nice.
Okay, well, that actually wraps up our chat with Dr. Whittenmeyer. Rob, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.